light problem anymore once I get that installed.
It should be warming up there in Texas, right?
Dude, it's fucking
Uh,
60
yeah.
degrees high
Yeah,
as
it's
all week.
beautiful. The problem is that it's gonna snap between being cold and not being cold, and I don't have an inside place to store my bike right now. So,
Left ass cheek. Left ass cheek. There's a little switch back there called oxygen. See those 3 switches? Yep, right there. One of those is oxygen. Should be it.
Yeah.
All right. The AV8 is a pressurized cockpit, but if your cockpit loses pressure, you do not have oxygen on, you go bye-bye. You die. So you always want to make sure you turn on oxygen.
Right.
Behind that, the yellow lever is your master fuel flow. Above that is a little DES. That's your engine management switch. Those. So when I get in the cockpit, those are the first 3 things I do. Pop, pop, pop. All right.
Right.
We're just going to keep moving up that whole panel on the left side.
All right.
Where you were. All right. That next section right there those are all your lightings. If you want to adjust your lightings, the master lighting switch is up on the sidewall. There's a little. Yeah. See it right there. That.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Go right above that. Those are your lights. Right above that switch, and you can actually move those lights. See?
Yeah, I
So at
seen that the
nighttime,
last time I
yeah,
was in here.
yeah, pretty pimp. All right, above that, those are your 2 dump switches.
Right
Right
here.
above those, yeah, below, yeah, those 2. No, below those. Those are your fuel dump. When you're coming in on a carrier or you're doing a V-stall landing, or actually a short landing, a lot of times you have to dump fuel because you have too much fuel for the weight. So you end up dumping fuel, and it'll auto shut off for you at 32. It might be
All
28
right.
now, somebody said, but I haven't tried it. So a lot of times you can flip them on and just forget about them when you're coming in for a landing. They'll turn themselves off. Above that, the next 2 switches are your fuel pumps. Fuel pumps go up. All right, you now have fuel to the engine. You don't need to worry about that one. Now your throttle. There are. Have you already done your mappings?
I mean, I got the throttle mapped. But
Okay, let's go do your mappings real quick. It's pretty easy in the Harrier. You don't need a lot. You have a throttle idle. Do idle.
I'll be back.
And make sure you have it mapped. This can be mapped to something off the wall.
So
You
what?
just
Go
need to be able
to
to search and then idle. No, try throttle. I forget what it's called. Or fuel. No, it should be throttle. What's it say? Throttle. Any of those throttle cutoffs?
throttle cutoff, throttle down, throttle up.
Throttle cutoff. You need that map somewhere. It could be. It's one of those things. It's totally off the wall. You only need to hit it occasionally. It just shuts down your engine, but occasionally you need it when you're starting your engine.
Okay, I'll put that on the base.
Yeah, just something off the wall. It can even be a shift function. That's how uncommon you will use this thing.
Right.
All right, let's go ahead and set your gear, your flaps, and your water. So your gear is an on and off. Your flaps is 3 position, up and down. You can do an up and down on it. And your water is an up and down. It's also a 3 position.
So landing gear toggle, correct?
Yeah, that's fine. Toggle or up or down, either one. Whatever you want to do.
Trying to remember what I got all these fucking switches.
What joystick do you have?
The T16,000.
All right, let me look at it real quick. T16,000.
I could make it that one.
Okay, you see those 3 buttons on the side?
Of what?
The joystick on the left side? You got like 6 buttons over there, don't you?
Yeah, there's 6.
All right. What you can do is like if you hold. Do you have? Are you able to touch your keyboard while you're doing this too?
Yeah.
All right, then maybe the shift key and do. The left one is gear, shift gears. The next one is water, and the next one is your flaps. But you have to hold the shift key for them. So hit the shift key when you're hitting the button too, and it'll register. So
Well,
that way
not
you
like
save
that. Not like fucking that.
What do you mean?
I'm saying I would have to no, I can't reach my joystick is sitting lower on, so I can just go I'll just set it that. So that's gear. And what'd you say, flaps?
flaps.
What, flaps auto?
You can do leave gear, and you can do flaps and water with the mouse click if you want. Up to you. It's not like a plane where you're gonna rip off your flaps, but if you want to be able to hit them.
So the water is right
there.
It's one of these, right?
Why is your just to the left of that 1 inch?
Right here.
There. Yep, that's it. That's water. All right, below the water is a combat switch. You probably want to map that. It's
combat thrust.
Yep, you can always map it later though. It's not required for learning, but later on you will want that mapped.
Okay.
All right, so let's go back. The 2 buttons on the top of your joystick. You don't have enough buttons, man.
You said it was simple.
It is.
What's going on, gents?
Yeah, it's up. Oh, you got 3 buttons on the right side too. I did not know that. All right, that makes life
I got
easier.
6 on the right.
All right, so all right, go ahead and set up. Go ahead and set up your trigger and your pickle.
So what? Weapons release.
Yeah, weapons release, and the other one's a trigger, gun trigger. It's all the way at the top.
Weapons function button. Let me look up trigger first.
Trigger's all the way. Scroll all the way up on trigger. You don't even need to search. Just scroll all the way up. Actually, let me open up my. Your screen's blinking. It's making me really hard to read. So let me just open my DCS. We'll just walk the thing. Make it easier. If I can see it, I can tell you which ones to hit. Okay, so what we can do is one of the buttons on the top of your joystick we can set to a mode button and give you all types of extra buttons. Have you ever done that?
Yeah, I usually use the little orange button on the throttle.
Oh, I didn't even see a throttle. You have a throttle too?
Yeah, I've got the full setup, dude.
Oh, well, I've only seen a picture of a joystick. So
let's see. What was it? Weapons release?
Yeah, give me a second. Thrust T1600 throttle.
So track.
Oh shit! Okay, you're good. You're good. You're fine. You got plenty of shit. Okay.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. I was looking at the joystick. I'm like, but dude, you don't have enough buttons. Okay, so.
Well, that's why I've got these hat switches over here, and then I've got that slew one,
much better.
The slew thing on the front of the throttle I can use.
Yep, you're much better off than what I thought you were going to
be. Yeah, you were fucking worrying me for a minute, dude.
Well, I was worried I thought you only had the joystick, and I'm like, oh man.
UFC weapons function button.
No, you don't need that one. Just a sec.
I wonder if I put in release. No, it won't.
That's all right. Just give me a second. We'll get in, and I'll get in. All right. Go ahead and set the axis. Go into axes, and have you set your TDC axis yet?
No.
Make sure that's set on that little hat on the throttle. The little axis hat on the throttle.
Slew.
It should say TDC. So, X and Y.
I mean, it says slew horizontal mouse, vertical, and vertical mouse.
Well, give me just a second. I'm getting into options. Whoops. Controls, AV8. All right, all but axis commands. Axis commands we don't want. TDC slew horizontal and TDC slew vertical.
Okay. And
you want to map that to your little hat on your throttle.
A hat.
Oh no, you have the don't you have that where your index finger is when you grip your throttle? Isn't that an axis, like a mouse, or is that a hat?
Yeah, I just okay.
But,
so when I moved it left, it did it. So vertical.
Yep.
I'll go up. Correct.
Up and down. Yeah, just go up. If you go up and down, do the full range. It usually grabs it really quick.
Right.
And you might have to reverse these later. Not a big deal. And you already have your rudder, your pitch, and your roll set up, correct?
Yep. What do I make this push in button
What pushing button?
on that my index finger
Oh,
hat?
don't. You're not going to use that.
All right.
The little thing to the left of that, left of your hat, that little gray thing on your throttle, is that a button or an axis? Where your middle finger would sit,
It's a 2 button.
up and down.
Yeah, usually in like aces that's my flaps.
Okay. You have any other axes on there? What about the wheel on the far left? Is that an axis or a?
Yeah, it's a roll wheel.
Okay, put that as your nozzle angle.
Nozzle angle.
Yep, you kind of want that on an axis. It makes life so much easier.
Bet. I haven't. That's the first time I've ever set that to anything. So
yeah,
it's gonna be hard to forget that one.
All right, so you got all that set.
Yeah, except for the pickle, I couldn't find the weapons release.
Okay, that's fine. Go ahead and hit OK, and we're gonna watch your Go look at your throttle and move your nozzles. That should be what you got. That is that direction right, or do we need to reverse it?
I got to reverse it because
okay. Go ahead and
all
reverse
the way
it.
up.
Yep. We'll just do one little step at a time.
Or no, wait. I go down here to tune, right?
Yeah, axis tune, and then invert.
Invert.
Yep. Okay, hit OK. Just make sure it's nice and smooth through there. It's just.
Yep.
All right, there you go. So can you move it just a little bit if you wanted to? Is it really easy to move just a hair?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Good.
My throttle's locked though, so.
Yeah, that's fine. It's supposed to be. Okay, so go ahead and go back into options. Or we're going to adjust your controls.
All right.
All right, so now we're going to all but axis commands. All right, so
Yep.
you need 2 buttons, and this is for your guns and your Sidewinder. It's kind of a dogfight mode. So whatever 2 buttons you want to use on your joystick, doesn't matter. Could be a hat, because you're going to use 2 other stuff later on you can put on the hat too. But you need, at the very, very top, the seam. You see that?
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, scroll all the way to the top, air-to-air, seam, and air-to-air gun. You need those 2 set. So whatever button you want to set them to does not matter. These are the 2 dogfight modes.
So what do you mean? I have to. So that gun mode, I'll have to fire that.
No, this is selecting. This is selecting the mode. You're selecting your gun here. You're selecting the Sidewinders. So, like one of the big buttons on their joystick would be good, or maybe that's probably really good. One of those buttons on your joystick, those big side buttons, up
You
and
think
down type
so?
of a thing. Yeah, that's what I'd map. I'd pick one side of those, and those would be my special shit. We'll also put autopilot on there and altitude hold, and all that on that one side, and you'd have one little section of stuff.
You're talking about the bottom buttons.
Yeah, the bottom buttons. Because this is
Okay.
something you're not gonna you're gonna tap it, right? Real quick. You're just gonna tap it, and then you're in the mode.
Because I can use one of my hats on the throttle for that.
You can do that too. And if, okay, so you're gonna have 5 buttons that control your modes total. So if however you want to set them up, you're gonna have 5 buttons total, and this is 2 of the buttons.
Okay, so yeah, wrong fucking one. Okay.
All right.
And then the gun.
The gun. This selects your Sidewinders and your guns while you're fighting in air-to-air dogfight.
Right.
Okay, so you have air brake in and out. So maybe that gray button on your throttle would be a good spot to put the air brake.
That's
Yeah,
what
there
it
you go.
is.
Good spot for it. You have a toggle if you just want to use one, hit it once. It's not like it's more of an on and off type of a thing. So whatever you want to do.
Right.
Okay, we're gonna come back down a little more. You're gonna do an autopilot buttons. These are 4 buttons total. for autopilot.
Really?
So 4 buttons, and a lot of times I put it on a hat on the throttle. So you have 2 hats where your thumb go. I'd put it on the hat you normally can't reach. Like one hat, you're normally on a throttle, you put your hand down, it fits, your thumb goes on a hat, and usually there's a hat above it, right? I put it on the hat above it.
Right. So automatic flight control.
No. Altitude is first. Altitude off and on. Altitude hold.
Altitude. Right there.
Yep.
So on
and off.
That's that bottom hat. And then what's the other one?
The other one will be the automatic flight control on and automatic flight control reset. You don't set off. You just use reset.
Automatic flight control on.
Yep.
And then automatic flight control reset.
Yep. There you go.
All right.
I'm just going right down the list.
That hat down there, I just made that bottom hat,
which
fine. Is technically an 8-way. Right. So that's my automatic flight and altitude. That'll be my autopilot hat. Then I've got.
Yep.
So that's view up slow. What? Sidewinder gun.
All right.
Hold on, I gotta take.
Okay, you don't have. Let me show you a trick because we haven't mapped that much, so we're just gonna remap everything real quick. Highlight and click clear category. Up at the top, you have clear category.
Yeah, I know how to do that. I just need to bust these 2 out. Yeah, that one. Right, that's my missile. What was that other one I just had on there?
Your autopilots.
Yeah, right fucking here. View down left slow.
Yeah, it maps shit for you.
Fuck that. It's even over here.
Yeah, it'll auto do stuff for you.
Who joined? CPI?
Yeah, I'm here.
You in Blue Flash already, bro?
No, I'm waiting. I'm not going unless I get a crew with me.
Okay, so right. Down, up. Yeah, I already got that set to my trim.
Oh, perfect. All right. So wherever put your gear, right? Did you put your gear on those 6 buttons on the right side or left side of your joystick?
Yeah, it's on the left side of the joystick base.
So I like keeping everything together. So another group of buttons on the left side, like the ones on the right, not the middle ones. The middle ones we'll use for water, but the ones on the right use for flaps. Right? You have flap mode down and flap mode up under F. Flaps mode down.
Yeah, I already put that. Or no, that was my air brake. That was my air brake.
Yeah. Now put that on one of those buttons. I put the way I do it. I have 6 buttons. I have gear, water, and flaps, and they're just in a row. Gear, water, flaps.
So flap mode's up and down, right?
Yep.
Right. So down. Yeah, and the other 2 buttons, like Taco said, you got to make sure you do the same setup on every aircraft, so that it's memory wise.
Yeah, that helps.
I wanted to do the night vision. I usually do that on this one button right closer to my throttle.
We'll get to it. It's farther down. All right, so you got that set. Go ahead and hit OK, and let's check the flap switch to make sure it's right. So look left. See that bottom panel underneath the water?
Yeah, I see it.
Yep. Is that working right? Yep. Perfect. Is that working?
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Go back. Let's go back in. A lot of times it's I've mapped them and I think it's one way and it's actually backwards, so it's easy to check real quick. Now, if you hit the button, it'll take you right where we were. All right. Don't need glances. I'm an H2O. Same thing. We're just gonna do. Actually, H2Os. That's not it.
Oh,
Yeah,
I can do that with the mouse.
Okay.
Unless you think I should map it.
No, you can do it with the mouse because it's one of those when you're coming in for a landing or you're taking off and then you go to normal later. I have it mapped just so I don't have to take my hand off the keyboard. You can always map it later if you have extra buttons. Type. All right, lids, manual. All right, master modes. Master mode: air to ground, nav, and VSTOL.
These two.
There's 3. Yep. Left alt 3, left alt 2, left alt 1. Those 3. We want all 3 of those on. Those are your master modes of the flying.
So I should put them on a hat.
Yep. I have them all mine on a hat. Or if you want to use the 3 buttons over on the right side of your joystick, the top. You got plenty of buttons up there. I'll drag us down so we don't pester everybody. We're getting a lot of people in here now.
Well, they all see Taco.
Yeah.
All right. You're going to have to stream your screen again when you get a shot, but no big deal. I'm looking up the screen anyway. And actually, there's not much more to do. I mean, we're doing most of it already. So
right, and I'm. It's just going to be like you said the last time we went through this on something else. It's just a matter of doing it, playing it enough, and getting used to what's what. So master.
Yep.
Master
mode, air to ground, nav, and VSTOL. And like I said, those 3 buttons on the base of your joystick on the right side would be perfect for these. So that's something you can just take your hand off and hit, and you're good to go.
Yeah, but I'm not used to using those.
Okay, well, whatever you want.
So
put them on a hat if you want.
I mean,
if you have a hat, I have a 4th button you can put on that hat too. So you can have a hat with all your master modes and then put your master caution clear on it, and you'll be a happy camper.
Right. So that's AG, nav is forward. VSTOL is down.
Yep. Hit OK real quick. The master caution highlight. I always forget which one it is. It's the one on the left of the UFC. Put your mouse up on the top left of the UFC. Up and to the right. That little button up and to the right. To the right. It's a big square. No, not on the UFC. The thing sticking out.
Right here.
That. Yeah. Now go on the left side of that. There's a big button. A little more. That. Is that master caution?
Yeah.
Okay, you want master caution. I always forget which one's master warning caution and master warning. So that's the master warning caution reset one.
So, okay.
Put that as your 4th button.
Because that thing comes on. Right?
Yeah, it comes on when you turn off your autopilot as a warning. So it's irritating if you can't click it.
What is it, master?
That should be the master warning caution reset, right underneath the navigation. Yeah, right there.
Right here.
Oh, there you go. And just double check to make sure, hit OK, and when you're clicking it, make sure it's the right one. It's either going to be the one on the right or the left of the UFC when you click it. It looks like it's getting pushed in, or the right one. I'll wait till start up. We'll figure it out. We're either wrong or it's the one right above it or it's that one.
Yeah.
Actually, it is. I'll tell you because I actually have it mapped. Hold on, it's the right. Yeah, you got it right. It's the master warning caution reset. It is that one. Okay, so I don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. Parking brake off and on. It's a lot easier on this thing to hit it with a button than to try to hit it in the cockpit.
Yeah, I found that out.
Yeah, it's kind of a bitch.
I fucking found that out. I'm like, why won't this fucking plane move? That I will put over here.
Yep.
So on is button 5. or off is button 5. On is button 10. I've got this shit sitting in like a drawer in the middle of my desk. So for me to get over there, I'm just gonna have to start using my right hand. More, anyway.
Okay, so the next one is it's a 5-position hat, right? And this is your main hat. This is your sensor select hat. This is the hat that you're going to be using all the time for any weapon employment type of a thing. It's 5 positions, so that's up, down, right, left, and pushing in. Now the pushing in doesn't have to be on that hat. You can put it somewhere else. It doesn't really matter. But you want this on a hat, whatever hat you want.
That's what I was thinking about for this one. But it's an axis, the front hat. So
No,
I got
that's your TDC now, though, isn't it?
Yeah, the top one
Yeah.
I've got set to Sidewinder and guns.
Do you have another hat? If not, we'll have to use a modifier and we can get you a hat.
Yeah, I can use the modifier in the main hat on my joystick.
There you go. Let's just do that.
Because I've already got it set to trim it. So, all right, yeah, you're right. What's it called again?
Sensor select. Now you still have to find one other button for the pushing in.
Yeah, that'll be the front button on that slew hat.
There you go.
Sensor select.
Yep.
So AFT,
aft, down, forward, and left. Down is the one you want to move. Down is pushing in. Aft is down is the one you don't want with the hat. So you have aft, forward, left, and right.
Right. So left. Add a modifier. Remind me how to add the modifier.
Easiest way to do is just hit it.
At the top, right?
Oh, you haven't done it yet? Bottom left corner of the screen, modifiers. And you want to add it on the left side. Nope, left side. Hit cancel. Yeah.
So add.
And you have to do the drop down, and then if you click it, sometimes it finds it real quick for you. Sometimes you have to. Yep, there you go.
Bet. Okay, so it was sensor, right?
Yep.
Okay, so sensor up, or wait, forward.
Up. Yep, forward, aft, left, and right.
And then aft is backwards, correct?
Correct.
And then down
Yep.
is that bitch.
There we go. All right, nice.
That's a lot of shit.
Not really. Once you learn it, it's not. All right, so next we have the lock button. You need a button for lock. So do you have a button you want to use for lock? Something you can
probably
hold.
Probably one of those ones up on my top of my joystick. I got 3 up there.
You got perfect. I got the perfect 3 for that. Just hit. Hold on, DDC. Hit in on your keyboard. It'll take you right there.
Oh, TDC down.
Yep, TDC down, action position.
Okay, and then make
That's
that what?
Make that your lock button. That's your lock button. One of those buttons on whatever ones you can hit on top of your joystick. And I already got a perfect thing for the other 2.
All right.
Throttle cutoff was the one that you should have already had it mapped. It's just a little farther down on that.
Throttle cutoff.
Yep. So remember, you already mapped it. You should have. Pretty sure we did.
Yeah, right there.
Yep. Perfect.
And that
Uh, you,
is
you you got your trim set, right?
right.
All right. On top of the hat, you have the 3 buttons. Make one of those buttons. I'm sorry. On top of your joystick, you have 3 buttons. Hit right Win W, and it'll take you right there. Right Windows W. It is called WP increment. This is a button you're going to have to. You don't use it often, but when it's important. So make it on top of your hat, or on top of the joystick. One of those buttons.
All right, that'll be 4.
Okay. All right. Hit the space bar. That's your trigger. That already mapped.
Yep.
Okay. Where's the next one? All right. Hit right Alt space. That's pickle.
Right. That's what I needed to set.
Yep. That's what you need to set.
Now, that's going on the top.
That's fine.
I'll put that in the Aces High button slot. Right. So 3 is lock. 2 is pickle. 4 is cover me.
Cover me.
Yeah.
You don't need that.
That's what you said. Left Win plus W. It's communications, right?
No.
Oh, you told me the wrong fucking key then.
Hold on. Hold on. W. Right Win W. Sorry. Right Win W.
And that is
WP increment.
wheel brakes.
No. Just scroll down. It's near the bottom. It's WP increment. Willie Pete increment.
Yeah, right there.
Yep. That's that button.
Now, what does that do?
All right. So this is it's the technical name is waypoint increment button. It cycles your waypoints, but the most important thing is when you're using JDAMs, it does something special with JDAMs.
Okay.
And you have to hold
Glad
it
I
in for a
asked,
second.
man, because
That's
I'd have
the
been like, why ain't my shit working?
thing. Yeah. Every time I tell you to
I'm
hit
over
it, you
hitting
get
cover me. I'm over here like, cover me, cover me.
All right. So you got the pickle done, right? And
yeah. Pickle is button 2.
all right. Cage uncage is your last button you got to do.
Cage uncage.
Yep. And that's for the Sidewinder and Mavericks and stuff. Oh, you got one more. Sorry.
Where's okay? Cage uncage.
God, I hate how they do these commands sometimes.
Right. I'm thinking, what can I?
You can use a shift and one of the top buttons that you have, if you want.
Yeah,
It's
that's what I
literally
was
a
thinking.
tap button.
So
And then the last.
so
Go ahead.
cage uncage, right?
Yep.
That just cycles it. Okay.
The next button is AG space target.
AG target designate.
Undesignate nozzle steering field of view. Now you can make this shift lock. A lot of people do that. So they have lock, they hit the shift key, not the shift key, but your modifier key, and then hit it again and it's unlocked. Whatever you want to do, doesn't matter. If you have another button,
What was
great.
my lock key though?
TDC action. You put it on one of the hats.
Did I?
I thought you did.
Master mode. Master warning caution.
Yeah, it's not any of those. It's not on that hat. I thought it was forward on something.
That is my air brake. Throttle cutoff. Gear. Flaps. Up and down. I don't have that shit set yet.
Yeah, you can set it or you can do it in the cockpit. Up to you.
That's my parking brakes. Huh.
PDC action is the button.
Let me look at.
I know we mapped it.
I know. No action, no action, toggle.
Nope, 2 down from that one. That one. 1 up. That. Right there.
Oh. Wait. Where'd it go? TDC. So. Yeah, right. It's on the top. So that was my
Okay.
lock. So what did you say I should make that?
Well, you can make a shift it for the AG target undesignate if you don't have another button.
All right, because I made, instead of lock, unlock, I made that cage.
Okay, that's fine.
With my
do shift. You made shift. You just need a button for this. It doesn't matter however you want to do it.
What was it again?
It's called AG space target.
Okay. AG. Nose wheel steering, right?
Yep, that button. It has a bunch. The Harrier's notorious for having multiple commands on the same button to eliminate how many buttons you need. Okay, you're done.
What about night vision?
Oh yeah, go and set that if you want.
Yeah, the heads up display or whatever.
No, that's separate. You have night vision goggles, which is the helmet, and then you have the other one, which is already mapped.
All right, so probably
I think it's called.
What is it?
Helmet. It's under helmet. H.
Right there. Yeah.
There you go. You are fully mapped. Not too bad. All right, so we're gonna go back. So you hopped in your plane.
So you know,
right?
Just so you know, I'm recording this so I can go back and watch what we mapped.
That's fine.
All right, so I got the fuel on. I got the oxygen on.
So you hop in your plane. Your oxygen on. Your fuel's on. The DEC switch. Show me where the DEC. That perfect.
Right.
Okay, so if you don't hit that switch, you're gonna get an engine warning when you're on your startup, and that's how you know. Oh shit, I got to turn that on.
Right.
The fuel. If the fuel's not on, it's not going to start. Fuel pumps. It won't be starting either. So above that, you have your engine panel. Which now, go ahead and move your throttle a little. Now watch where your throttle position. See how it's backed all the way up against the line.
It won't move.
Move it forward.
It won't move. That's what I'm saying.
All right, now locked. All right. So you're in the forward position. So go ahead and hit the button that we made for the fuel the cutoff.
I don't remember what that is.
Oh, the idle cut. You put it there. See how it jumped back?
Yeah.
See the two positions. All right. Now if you look real close on the back, you'll see it's touching metal, and when it's forward, it's got just a hair of the fuzzy shit, right?
Like that.
You have to be able to remember that. When it's all the way back is where you want it for engine start, and then you push it forward. If your engine's not turning over, generally you have to hit this switch to make it start turning over. You want it back to start up. If it's forward, it won't spin the engine.
Okay.
And when you get in, maybe you touch your throttle and it jumps forward a little. You know, that happens to me all the time. So just get used to, I'm not spinning, hit the switch. Boom, done. I'm spinning.
Okay.
All right, above that are your SAS switches. They come pre-done.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. You don't have to do nothing. Above that, the two on the right are your autopilot. Now, if you want to check your autopilot status, AFC, the one on the right would be forward if your autopilot's on. If altitude is on, the middle one would be forward. So you can actually glance down while autopilots are on, glance up, they're off. You know, it's a quick glance down to see if they're off and on.
Right.
Right. All right. To turn off the AFC, we have it mapped. It just goes to reset. And that's by design because if you turn it off, it screws it up. All right. Above that is the RPS yaw switch. I always turn it on. I've never tested it. It's supposed to add a little feedback, which is a switch up one. That. All the other switches in that area come pre-done. That's your landing lights.
Okay.
Okay, those two dials. The top dial is you see those little dials down there? That's your trim. So you can look down to see where your trim is. The top one is left and right. The bottom one is up and down.
Yeah, but the lollipop's down, so I can't see the left or right.
Right. That lollipop is your. Yep, perfect. Below that is flaps power. You have to turn the power on. Okay. To the underneath the emergency jettison switch, the big orange one, right? Just to the left. Nope, not that one. Nope, where you just were. Go left an inch and down an inch. Left an inch. Yep, that. That is nose wheel steering. Okay, we have one hydraulic system, so we can only provide nose wheel steering or anti-skid brakes. Can't have both at the same time.
Right.
Right. So when you're landing, if you're coming in with speed, you're going to want anti-skid brakes, because if you touch your brakes without anti-skid, you know what happens, right? You're going to spin out.
Yeah.
And then you flip it for your standard nose wheel steering. Now, the target on designate button provides nose wheel steering as well. If this is set to anti-skid and you hold in the target on designate button, you get standard nose wheel steering. If this is set to nose wheel steering and you hold the target on designate button, you get high steering, which is for carrier ops. That's where you can do a donut.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. I know that high range. Yep.
Yeah, perfect. Same thing. Okay, so we're going to go to the MFD panel on the left side. The MFD panel on the left side, on the little switch on the left of it is your master arm, right there. Right. That's master arm. Don't hit that. That's flared salvo. It dumps your flares. It's really fun to do at night. You do a barrel roll and hit that button really fast, and it dumps all your flares out. That's your standard MFD. You know MFD's piece of cake. Below that is your armings panel. Now, most of your arming will be done through the UFC, but some of it you can just do here, especially when you get to fusing. Right? You can actually just tap the thing and do fusing when you're selected on a weapon.
Right.
You don't ever need to hit that. That's emergency. The buttons below that is selecting weapons. If you just want to push button a weapon, you just hit the button. It picks the store.
Okay.
Right? You will use that occasionally for sidearms. You never need that one. To the left is the selective jettison. The most of the time you use that is for when you're dumping fuel tanks. You spin it all the way to the right, hit the button, it's going to dump your fuel. Right? You can also do selective stores or whatever you want to do. All right. The center section is the UFC.
This.
Yep, that's the upfront control display is what it stands for. Now, before we go to that, I want you to look to the left of the UFC. That's the DED panel. You see the five little lights with push buttons up? Nope, more to the left. That's the DED panel. Now, you've flown the F-18, and it has that little panel where it says things, right? And you hit buttons, like on autopilots and shit.
Right, well, I've never got that detailed, but yeah.
Same thing. It puts shit up here, and it has little push buttons for you to hit when you're selecting things.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all that is. So it'll throw shit up there, you hit a button, whatever you want. So the UFC on the right side is your brightness for the UFC. Nope, on the UFC itself. Yep, right there. That's brightness. That would go all the way up. All right. Below that, you have the two volume knobs on the symmetrical right and left. Left is COM 1, right is COM 2. You have the panel right below the volume that shows you what channel you're in. And then the little twisty knobs will spin the channels for you, preset channels. You can also push them in to select the radio if you wanted to select the radio.
All right.
All right. You got the UFC, standard UFC. It's got some little buttons on there at the bottom. On, off is a good one to remember where it is because you'll use it a lot. Below that are the knobs for controlling the HUD. Now, the one on the left, you never need the button. The next twisty knob, that is the HUD brightness. No, not that one. That one. That's HUD brightness.
This one.
No, left 4. That's HUD brightness. That turns on your HUD. Okay. It won't turn on until we get it going. The switch to the right of it is only used for night ops. And that has to be a night for you to put the FLIR on the HUD. That's all you have to ever remember. Those two are for adjusting like the camera.
Okay.
So you don't have to play with that much. The switch on the right is for radar or barometric altitude on your HUD. You really don't ever have to touch that. Okay? Piece of cake. Below that is on the bottom left is the course. It's for advanced. You really don't need it for anything. Later on, you might want to learn it. Below that, you have the 4 dials. The only dial you really need to worry about is that dial your mouse was just on. Nope, that one. If you're worried about fuel, put the arrow in the little white bar. That's all you got to remember. And the way you do that is by adjusting your speed. As you adjust your speed, the pitch of the aircraft will change, right? And eventually, that arrow will get into that white bar. See the white bar?
Right.
Yeah. And if it's in the white bar, you're on. Yeah, you're on a good. You may not be the perfect cruise speed, but you're on a good cruise speed. All right, below
Clear.
that. Right, so on startup, when we're ready, you're going to turn the FLIR on, which is the button on the left. The 6 switches, you only need the middle left one. That one. That's the only one you would flip up.
Okay.
Now INS is this is you're going to love this INS system. All right, when you're doing your startup, you just need to flip this to IFA.
Yeah, on this just like in the 18.
Yep, and then once
That's
you do
for satellite position competence, right?
Yep, it fixes it with the GPS, and it takes about 3 minutes and you can have it going while you're taxiing and flying. So all you do is hit IFA. Ride MFD, same thing, MFD, no big deal. Above it's the engine panel. Now there's a little, I like turning on the little knob in the top right of the MFD. No, right. Down it, right there. That. I like turning that on because it's the backlight, makes it easier to read when I'm flying. In
Right. So it
the
tells you how
engine
much
panel.
water you got.
Yep. RPM is the big one. All right. Now we're going to step back a second. I'm going to explain the Harrier.
Oh, nozzle
the Harrier,
degrees.
Yep.
Okay.
The Harrier does not have afterburner.
Yeah,
right?
no.
We do over RPM our engine. So between actually it's like 32, 0 to 32 is startup. 32 to 102, not 102.1, 102, so literally 101.9, right? Is a max continuous power. You can run that all day long. All day long, you're not going to hurt nothing. 101.9. Once you hit 102, you could actually be going above 102. So I never do 102 for max continuous. It's always 101.9.
All right.
Between 102 and 109, right? 109% RPMs, so 108.9. You could do 15 minutes, and then you have to throttle back to cool down the engine for a minute, right? So you throttle back for a minute, then you can do it again. It burns fuel like a son of a bitch. Okay, so that is actually max power, and you can hold it for 15 minutes. All right. Combat switch, which I showed you was on the left side, which you can always map later. I hardly ever use. I'll use it in a dogfight.
That
right?
was
right underneath the water.
Yeah.
Yep, right there. That allows you to go 111. All right. 111 is 10 minutes, and then you have to throttle back to allow your engine to cool off. All right. Anything over 111, you start getting down, and there's a whole chart, but you start breaking down to 2.5 minutes, all the way down to 15 seconds. All right. And she'll give you a 15-second warning. When you're going above 1111, right, and you're using water, your water will start dumping. And a little green light will turn on over there letting you know you use water. You only have 500 pounds. So if you burn too much water at startup, taking off on a carrier, you could have a real issue coming in for a landing because you want to use the high RPMs. And what water does is gives you an extra 5-10% RPM. Literally, It's giving you that much more power. All right.
And
so
you only use that for VTOL generally.
Yeah. It'll only work for VSTOL. Yeah, it has to be your plane has to be in a certain configuration. The 3 knobs on the right. All right, the top knob, right where your mouse is, the top knob is RWR. That's your volume, and it turns it on. The knob below that is your chaff and flare. That goes into AUT for automatic, right? What it does is based on your flight profile, it determines if chaff and flare should come out the top or the bottom. All right, below that is the jammer switch. That never turns on unless you're carrying the jammer pod.
Okay.
And then you never mess with it. All right, you come down, that's your RPM or your hydraulic pressure and all that. That's your fuel. There's a little knob down there if you want to set bingo on your fuel, right? No big deal. 7,000 pounds is a fuel. 77 is full fuel. 1,100 is with a tank. Another important thing on your engine panel I forgot is the top left number. The top left number is fuel flow.
Right here.
No, that's duct. Yeah, that one. The fuel flow. Not duct. It says fuel. That one. Fuel flow is per minute. So if I have 7,000 pounds of fuel, and I'm burning that number says 100, how many minutes of flight do I have?
Not that much.
70 minutes.
Oh, okay.
You literally just time that number by minutes to tell you how long you can fly at that fuel flow. So if it's, and a lot of times this thing will be 200 when you're low and going fast. So 200 on 7,000 pounds of fuel is only 35 minutes of flight. All right.
Right.
So below that, all right, we come down. You got the master caution panel. You have the 4 switches down there, which is for engine start. The only one you need to worry about is battery.
Oh, down here?
Yep. Turn on the battery. All right. That next panel, all those, everything farther back is useless. You don't need it.
Right here?
Except for those knobs. Those knobs are your interior lighting.
Mm-hmm.
And that little push thing that you're seeing right on the right side of the seat right there, that's your ejection seat. Nope, that's a big handle. It's like right in the middle of your bottom of your nope. It's attached to your seat. That big thing. No, farther back. Come straight back. Straight back. See that big handle? Right. Your mouse is almost on it. Right there. That thing.
Oh yeah.
That arm's your ejection seat.
Seat ground lever?
Yep. So that arm's your boom. All right. So all you're gonna do is now that your battery's on and your throttle's back, you just hit start, which is over there by your battery switch. Right by your battery switch to left of it.
Right here?
Push that. Yep. Push that up. Boom. Watch your RPMs on the top on your engine panel.
Right
Push
here?
your throttle forward. Yep. Push your throttle forward. And she starts spinning up.
That was easy as fuck, dude. When you first got me this, man, I was sitting in here trying to start it by myself, and I was like,
"Oh no,
the fuck!"
Look over your right shoulder, grab the handle of the canopy, and close the canopy. No, those are mirrors. The handle, that thing. Yep, right there. Boom. All right. Now your canopy is now locked. It auto locks. You can't open it unless you hit that lever. And your cabin will pressurize. So if you forget your oxygen, you won't realize it until something happens, like you get a hole in the canopy.
It's down here.
Yep. Perfect. Now your engine should have steadied up.
It did.
All right. On the left side always put EHSD on the MFD. So let me show you the MFD. Zoom in on the MFD. All right. So the bottom button is your master mode. Bottom middle button right there.
Right here.
Yep. So if you look, one is going to give you a bunch of shit that is checklists for emergencies. If you hit it again, it's going to put you in the main mode, right? The way you can tell is what's showing. And I always just look in the bottom left corner. One up from on the left row, one from the bottom up should say EHSD. Left row. See, it doesn't say EHSD, so tap it again. See, that's the one you always want to use. So if you don't see your options, hit that center button.
All right, so I'm on EHSD.
Okay. What we're going to do is go ahead and turn on your FLIR. Remember the switch down there? Behind you? Yep. Nope, all the way down. Come straight down. There. Turn on your FLIR. The middle of those 6 switches. You want the middle one up. That's your DMT camera. You want your IFA on your alignment. Boom, boom, boom. Now you can actually do this before you do startup. I always just go left to right. My shit's already, by the time I hit my button, my shit's already set.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. Turn off your master caution.
Wait, which
was loud a little bit.
Which was it?
Master mode area.
I can't remember it.
Just click it right now. There you go. All right. Couple little things I forgot to show you. Left of the left MFD is your master modes. See the 3 right above that? See those?
Yeah.
Those are push buttons and they light up on which mode you're in.
So right now I'm in B stall.
Right.
Didn't I map that?
Yep, you did. It's on the same hat as the UFC alert.
Oh shit!
See. All right, you go back to the mode you were just in. Go to air to ground. All right, you see just as a quick reference, you see the 4 lines, diagonal lines?
Yep.
That is a warning that your weapons are not ready to fire. That's all. If you ever see that, your weapons are not ready to fire.
Okay.
All right. Go back to V-stall. We're always in V-stall for takeoff and landing. All right. So we're just going to teach you some nice 500-pound bombs just to get you going, right? So let's go ahead and rearm and refuel because I want you to do a weighted takeoff. And just leave the sidewinders on. You can actually carry bombs on those stations too, by the way, on 1 and 7 if you wanted to.
That's a good practice bomb.
No, just do we're going to take you off heavy with 4 500-pound MK82s. So 2 times MK82 on all stations.
MK right here?
I can't read what it says. It should say 2 times MK82.
It says 3 Mark 82.
Pick the 2 one. I never carry the 3 one because you can always carry the 3 one on one pylon.
So
And
that'll
it's
be
a
on
lot of weight.
6, correct?
Yep.
Because you said, I remember you telling me a long time ago you want them on either side. So that 4B is the targeting pod.
Yeah, get rid of that. We're not going to use that this round. All right, on the stations next to those bombs, let's go ahead and carry the CBU-99s. Might as well teach you those at the same time. Air-to-ground bombs, all the way at the top, 2 times CBU-99s, all the way. Yep, right there. Those are the cluster bombs we use. So I'll teach you all this all at once. Make it nice and easy. All right, let's go ahead and put a gun on there, too. The gun can only go in one position. And you got 4. I like HE. HE is my favorite because it tears the shit out of shit that's soft targets. Not so good against medium targets, but like planes.
What about helicopter?
HE. This thing is evil. HE.
Okay.
The other one. Okay, so it's 8. You have high explosive or armor piercing, right? Armor piercing is really designed for like medium, the BMPs, T-72s. I like having the more I tap something, I want it to blow up. I'll use HE. That's gonna be your loadout. Nice, good, solid loadout. All right. I want you to look on the right side. You got your fuel all the way to the 100. Look how many flare you're carrying.
120.
Just look at the number. All the way to the right. What's that number say?
What, put it all the way to the right?
No, don't move it. Don't move it. You can't move it. You can't move it here.
It says 120 and
number
60.
Say?